I think we can all agree that more is better, no matter what it is we're talking about. Would you like more sugar on your cornflakes? It's like, no, that would be too sweet and fun. Of course it's better. Sir, would you like more crack? Tell the guy on the street willing to lick your shoes that less crack is better. Come on now, I think we're all in agreement here. So in wildlife, more reach is fun. I've been using 600 as a long time. I'm just gonna go under the desk. I was in Fuji manual focus, by the way. I'll be back.
All I want is the perfect camera. All I want is the perfect camera.
So after testing out Calliope's setup of the Canon R7 with the 100 to 400, in 4K 60 with that crop is like 1160 mil. And I was like, damn, that is so much better than my full frame set. I'm literally jealous of a lesser product. And so it just got me thinking, I need more reach. I'm not in love with that 600 mil Tony 11. It's okay, but I think 800 and up is more fun. So I made a list. Did I ever dive into this list? So today's video, we're diving into all the best possible setups, lightest weight, cheapest options to get 800 and above for beautiful wildlife movies as we witness bullshit 600 mil Tony 11 footage throughout the video, realizing that's not enough. First thing we saw was the little Baltimore Oriole. By the way, he's orange on a blue background with green leaves. It's no Fuji colors, but it's good enough for some of us. So let's just start with Sony, get them out of the way. Yes, they're gonna be the sharpest image, like beautiful specs on paper, but you're not getting any magic. You're never gonna have somebody comment like, was there a princess in your shot? What was that? I thought I saw a gargoyle for a second. Like, there's no emotion. You can't squeeze blood from a rock. And that's what Sony is. They will get you the data, video numbers lined up, and then here is your footage. Camcorder-like, no magic. So let's go through this chart. We have the camera. Underneath it is the weight of the camera and the cost on B&H, brand new. The crop below it is the video crop for the slowest frame rates. So as you can see, if we go with the 70 to 350, okay, that total setup, 18 grams, very light, 2400, that's not much. And in HD 240, don't quote me on this because I think 4K 120 also has the same 58% crop. So we're getting an 830 mil Tony 15 background blur abilities. All right, you're understanding the chart, how it works now. That would be a fantastic setup, but you could push for higher heights of the 100 to 400 G Master. You could find a used deal on it. Then you're getting 950 mil roughly, Tony 13, totally doable. You get 4K 120 and HD 240. Sony clinical science though. Or I don't like Sigma, but I figured we'd offer it. It's a 500 mil prime. It's not the lightest thing you ever seen, but it's lighter than the G Master. 1185 mil Tony 13, I could do it. I could hang, it's a bit pricey for what it is. Sigma, zero magic, but you're not expecting magic with Sony. So Sigma clinical, would I trust the autofocus with a Sigma? Not really. And will the stabilization be brilliant? No. Sony's just not good. You're gonna get swaying movements. It's not rock solid. So it's an offering.
Sup fellas, ladies are here. What y'all saying tonight? Anybody around? Sup girl? Damn, what you saying? You come here often or what? What you doing later on? Making babies, that's what I'm doing. You in? You in on this? Little flutter action here, you see this? I'm open for business, fellas. Damn girl, hold on, we haven't even shook hands yet. I don't even know you. How do I know? All right, whatever, I'm coming down. I'm on my way down, girl.
Now moving on up in the world, Fuji X-H2S, I do believe that is your best option right now for wildlife. I wanted to believe that the XS20 that we're on right now in manual focus with a Fringer adapter EF 24mm 1.4. Oh my goodness. This should be it, but the moire patterns are not good in HD 240 and the X-H2S fixes those at least a bit. It's better. I remember it being better, but the noise was like worse. So like, don't go above ISO 30. So if you get the 100 to 400 zoom, you're getting 840mm Tony 12 in a HD 240p lifestyle. Now, you may look at those numbers and think, oh my God, that's terrible. I've been totally happy with the Tony 11 on my Canon. When I was out with the R7, literally that 600mm turned into a 1738mm Tony 32, and I was blown away by how good it was. I don't care anymore about the Tony stops here. They don't matter for wildlife. You could have Tony 96 and it'd be too blurry. If you wanted even more reach, the 150 to 600, we're getting a little heavy now. 2265, you're now the heaviest thing we've ever seen. But man, 1260, Tony 12, that could be fun. Or you go with the Prime. You notice how it's green. These are, in my opinion, the best options. That's the one I would choose personally. That's a Prime. It's a bit heavy, but it's still doable. Under 2,000 kilograms. I didn't say that right. That's what an elephant weighs. But 1050mm Tony 12, that's gotta be the glory right there. I mean, getting above 800 is sweet. As we can see, this footage is not 800 and it's not sweet. But you get some environment, it's okay. But if you're getting little birds, I don't know why I thought I was happy with 600mm. I clearly am not. Moving on to the Canon R7. Now, this is Calliope's setup. Birding with Calliope. You just subscribed right now, thank you so much. 100 to 400, it's so light, and you get 1158 mils. It's a Tony 23, but hot damn, it doesn't matter. It's good, it's light, it's cheap. That might be your sweet spot. The only reason I made the 500 mil, the green one, is just because of how glorious it might be. I tell you, that 500, you're getting some extra reach, 1448 mil, and it's sharper, and I bet you the stabilization's just a bit better, slightly less of the 0.9 Tony, but honestly, it is way more expensive than that 100 to 400. You're barely gonna see a difference, and it's noticeably heavier. It's just, that's the goal here, I think. That's a sweet lens. It's an L lens, beautiful on a crop body. For full frame, no thank you to that lens. 500mm, what are you gonna do with that? Nothing. And I figure we throw in the honorable mentions. The 600mm Tony 11 would be a 1738mm Tony 32, an 800mm, dare you even dream it, a 2317 Tony 32. I could not even imagine that. It would be glory. Speaking of that lens, we do have a purchase announcement. I saw an 800mm Tony 11. It wasn't cheap. It wasn't the best deal I've ever seen, but whatever, we pounced on it. So that's an option coming up later on, but I do believe you full frame with that 800mm, that might be enough. That Canon R5 II, best stay, best autofocus, 8K, I could punch in to a 1600mm and we're still getting 4K 60. That could be in our future, it will be. So I will most likely be returning the Glimmer glass that I bought for the 600mm, sorry, Amazon. Thank you so much for sponsoring that episode and unknowingly. And then probably sell the 600mm Tony 11 and then we see, because there's a couple other options here that I kind of want to pounce on, but at least we'll have the 800mm. It might be better than the 600. We gotta hope. And then we come to Penny Boy. Oh, my Penny Boy friend. I miss you. I want to be in your life again. And I think if you did get the 100 to 400, you're getting a Leica lens. You might have some 3D pop that the others lack. You're getting 800mm Tony 13. That's doable. That's just a tiny touch more than mine. It's like Leica with the Stabe, class-leading 300 frames per second slow-mo. There's no crops. Although you can do the pixel-to-pixel crop, but it's not really better than just zooming in post from what I found. And I think it limits you on the frame rates. Like if you're in HD, you can only do 120 with the pixel-to-pixel crop, but it's in there and you might use it at some point. But the secret setup that not one person has ever even comprehended using, you get the TT Artisan 500mm Tony 5.6 Prime. There's no Stabe in it. It's manual focus only, but that's what Panasonic loves. It works together. If anybody could stabilize that lens, it would be Panasonic IBIS. I think we can all agree with that. And since the 300 frames per second loses autofocus anyway, you just have good manual focus. It's a stiff zoom, but that would give you a 1000mm Tony 13, kind of heavy. And you'd have to get the EF lens. For some reason, they make that lens in every single mount ever made, including the DSLR mount, but not Micro Four Thirds. The one mount that could actually use that lens. I'm shocked. I actually reached out to them asking if they would send it. They didn't even reply to me. That's your first mistake. And your second mistake was not making it for Micro Four Thirds. What the hell were you thinking? So like you adapt it with you could even speed boost it, but that would lessen your reach, but it would up the Tonys. Don't do it. Just get a regular cheap adapter. I reviewed that lens and it has some pop. I tell you, this is a special look. You can't beat that look. It's just, can you use it? It's kind of heavy zooming. All right, last two setups. We got full frame Canon R5 II 800mm Tony 11 prime. That's actually the setup I chose for now because I already have the camera. I think this would probably give the best results as well, but I am curious about a couple others for comparison purposes. 2,000 grams, not bad. HD 240, I could live with it. Your only other option is a ridiculous Nikon Z6 III with the 800mm Tony 6.3 prime. It would be glorious. It would have the best look of any of these, but look at the weight. Ow, 3145 grams and the cost. My God, like it's almost not even in the same conversation we're having right now. We're just like affordable, pretty lightweight wildlife setups that give you lots of reach, but it's better than a bridge cam. It's just, they're all mirrorless, but even with some of these crops, even though it's like a 1-inch sensor, it's giving you glorious results. When it comes to my recommendations for you, there's the odd person who's going to be happiest with that Sony a6700 and the 70-300. Very lightweight, super sharp footage. You probably think, oh, what's magic? He's making this up. He thinks 3D pop is real. So like, get that for the most sharpest budget option with the best frame rates, might be best autofocus too. That'd be great. For my magic homies, I think we go Fuji X-H2S. Then you pick your lens. What do you want? The 100-400 might be your ultimate thing. That's enough reach, but if you ever want to take a photo, you remove those video crops and then you don't have as much reach as you thought. But the 150-600 it's a bit heavy. I lean prime. You got to get that prime magic. Canon R7 with the 100-400, I don't think you can even top that right now. 4K 60 with that super crop, sweet spot, super light. It would look more magic than the Sony. Not as magical as the Fuji, but lighter than both. No, it isn't. The ones I'm curious in, because I'm a snob, I'm curious about the 800mm, so I got it. But I want to compare that to either G9 II or GH7 if I can find a deal with that Leica 100-400. Then we see that's very light, very stable. That would be a fun little comparison. Full frame versus Micro Four Thirds, and I bet you the Panasonic will have a more filmic look and be sharper and just better, slower slow motion, stay about the yin yang. That is very on my radar. The next, I need a Fuji X-H2 badly. I need to sell this immediately, get that, and the Prime. I haven't seen a deal on the Prime, never see that on sale. There's one on eBay, I think it's more than it is brand new. So the other setup that really intrigues me here is the Fuji X-H2S with that 500mm Prime. So those are the two I'm focused on potentially getting, Fuji or the Panasonic. I think we could all agree that Panasonic back in our lives would be a sweet day to see it. So let me know which setup you think would be best out of all those, and what was the footage like today as I just played it. Should I talk less about gear and just more about the stuff I'm filming? I focus way too much on gear here. We need a paradigm shift. It's coming soon through my affiliate links. Thank you for the Bitcoin donations. I'll be leaving now. After you subscribe,